Hello, thank you for joining the See the Good Project with Erin. My name is Jordan Williams, and I am the owner and president of Keefe Cravat, which is a luxury neckwear company that specializes in bow ties, ascots, and so forth. I had the opportunity to meet Erin back in 2013 at Kansas City Fashion Week, where we actually connected with one another, and I'm just so excited that she's developing this new project, See the Good, and I'm here to tell a story. So my story is aligned with spirituality and just being a better businessman, so to speak. So back in 2014, I had the opportunity to meet Matt Balwin, which is a local designer here in Kansas City who develops denim. And I was very excited to meet this guy because I had done research on him and I found out about what he does and where he started with his company. He started Balwin Denim 3 years ago prior to meeting him. So when I met him, I was so excited because I did research on him. I found out all these cool things about what he was doing and how successful he was. He had a partnership with Gap, and he has Jay-Z wearing his clothes. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I have to meet this guy because clearly we have a connection. We're from Kansas City. We like designing. So what can I do to meet him, and what can I ask him to, find out the steps I should take? So finally met him. And it wasn't planned. It really wasn't. I was just at the Magic Conference, which is out in Vegas every year for fashion stylists, bloggers. It's a whole fashion community that comes out. And I literally walked up on his table, and it was just like, whoa. And I said to myself, that's Matt. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, this is my chance to finally meet this guy and ask him what I've been waiting to ask him for so long. When you just have that daring question, when you meet someone, what are you going to say, right? So that was my moment. And I asked him, I said, so Matt, I introduced myself and told him who I was and XYZ. And I said, Matt, how did you get Jay-Z to wear your pants? What did you do to get him in your denim? What did you do to get Gap to partner with you? How did you get a feature in GQ magazine? And I was just excited when I asked the question. And Matt's just standing there like this. He's just like, feeling the vibe or whatever. And he says to me, God. And I said, okay. And it just kind of like threw me back. I was just like, okay, Matt, I mean, yeah, we all have God in our lives, right? But really, like, what happened? And his response again was, God. And I was just like, is this man serious right now? Like, he's really sitting here telling me that it's God. And I've been waiting to meet Matt for almost a year and a half, and to just see what he has to tell me. And his response was straight out God. Me being at the time who I was, I'm gonna be honest, I was upset. I couldn't believe that he said that to me in that moment, because it was such I felt like a jaded response. But it literally took me about maybe 2 years. Well, from that, so much happens in literally a year. It feels like it's been 3 years. So back in meeting him in 2014 and now it's 2015, it literally took me about a year to fully understand what he meant by that in that moment. Now I'm in a place where I literally let God be God in my business, not just in my personal life, but in my business. Oh my God. And I literally saw the interaction in my business and how things have changed since I literally heard him say, I registered the thought when he said God, but I didn't really register it. So it was always in the back of my mind because I'm like, he didn't just say that for no reason. And I just had like a little whatever, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. And when you're doing your thing, those things can really lead to destruction or it can lead to goodness, depending on what your thing is that you're doing. And I felt like at the time I was just really all over the place. My business was just chaotic. My life was just unstable. Things were just going really wrong. But it wasn't up until this year, back in January, where I literally started to pray for my company and literally take out that time to ask God to step in and stop letting myself become a God in my business. Because, it's so easy for us to be caught up with titles and developing our brand that we literally think that it's us doing it. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I know for me, spirituality, I have to have that higher power so I can, humble myself through my company and through the growth of my business. So finally, I had the opportunity to let God come in my company, and I literally would pray, and I finally started to get signs and things started to happen for my company. He gave me this vision to do an internship where I basically I brought in 3 high school girls and 2 college students, and we had the opportunity to develop basically the company in the direction I want to take it. My whole purpose was to find a seamstress, 2 seamstresses, and 1 creative director. Literally, I have 2 seamstresses now and 1 creative director. And that was a sign that God was working, because I prayed for it and it happened. And it happened like that. I mean, so many people had reached out and helped, connected me to individuals. It literally just was like, wow. So then I said, okay, if I can trust him for this, what else can I pray for? Literally, we started to develop the collection for the fall winter, which is called Inception. And Inception means the start of something. And when you think of the start of something, you know, that could be the start of your career, your business, or your family, or what have you. But I think it was very important that when you start something, that you start with yourself. And through that process, I was able to learn that until I started with God, which is connected to myself, I was able to develop a business that literally I believe in now, that people can see. It has this effect on the whole way I think now. And it was all because when I met Matt Balwin, he said to me, God, when I asked him about all of these things that he does and how does he do it. So I encourage you, if you have any plans or any business, anything that drives you, to see or try to put God in the forefront of your business, your life, your career, your family, yourself, and just let him manifest. And you will see the good in that project.